Hey, Rick, what's the worst thing about being a mechanic? Dirty, greasy hands. Keith, what's the worst thing about being a mechanic?
Get dirt in places you wouldn't expect it.
Bailey, what's the worst thing about being a mechanic?
Always dirt. Being dirt out. I'm always dirt.
Sam, what's the worst thing about being a mechanic?
Some people are trying to get their car fixed and are being told they have to wait a couple of days, weeks, even if it means certain repairs. They are being told that the earliest they could even look at it is weeks from now, just to even plug it in a computer. Can you believe how crazy this sounds? And if you think that's insane, the national average wait for a repair has doubled in only 2 years, and it's getting even worse. I've worked in dealerships and shops for over 2 decades, and I'm telling you, the people who fix your car are disappearing. And most of you won't realize it until you're stranded on the side of the road.
I don't know what's going on with the car industry at the moment with mechanics, but I saw a TikTok and I had to kind of answer a lot of the things that were being said on there. Now, this is a TikTok and it talks about mechanics and how they're not enjoying their jobs at the moment. Whole long reel you'll see behind me of people that just aren't happy working on cars anymore. And I've actually experienced this first hand as well. A lot of the guys that I've worked with, probably in the past 2 or 3 years, are leaving the trade, aren't happy in the trade, can't leave the trade because the money's not too bad where they are. And there's just a load of unhappy people. Now, I did some research on this, and because there is such a shortage of technicians and mechanics in the industry right now. Now, between 2021 and 2031, they've estimated that they're going to need an extra 25,500 mechanics. We're already losing mechanics left, right, and centre, and now we need more. And the thing is, as well, we've got emerging technologies like the EV industry. So people are digging their heels in potentially with learning about electric vehicles and hybrids. So what do you guys think is the cause of all this? Now, I've got my own ideas on things like this. I think some mechanics are underpaid. They're expected to learn huge amounts of information about cars. There's so much to learn. You need to cover now electric vehicles, hybrids. You need to have your own tools. You need to wash your own uniform. The whole kind of monetary you have to put value you need to put into that to start with. Sometimes that's expected by employers that you do that. I think mechanics are stressed. They're having these problems with cars that are quite hard to diagnose. The work-life balance isn't always there. I think manual jobs maybe seeing a bit of decline of interest as well. But yeah, what does everyone else think? There's a huge black hole, and it's just getting wider of mechanics in this country, in the UK. And what do you think?
And she's talking about the United Kingdom. And I want you to look at this crazy number, 67,000. That is how many new mechanics we need to hire every single year until 2033 here in North America. And you want to know the craziest part? We are nowhere close to hiring that many people. Right now, the average mechanic is about 50 years old. And at the same time, cars are getting insanely complicated, as she mentioned earlier. They used to be simple, but now your car is a supercomputer on wheels and with radar and crazy updates. The technology is exploding, but the number of people who can fix it is actually crashing out. This isn't just a small problem. This is a complete breakdown of the entire system. So why doesn't anyone want a job that can pay $100,000 a year without an insane college debt? Because it's one of the craziest jobs in the world. Imagine you're a chef who only gets paid for a 5-minute pizza, even if it takes you an hour to actually make it. That is what mechanics deal with every day. Imagine in your first year of being a mechanic, you have to spend $12,000 to buy your own tools, even before you could even start making money. And it's like showing up at an office job and they tell you, bring your own desk and computer. Mechanics are both employees and entrepreneurs/business owners at the same time.
You want to know why no one wants to get into this field, the automotive repair field? I know this video is not getting a lot of views, but let me tell you, what I got $10,000 worth of tools. You can say it's not Snap-on, I got you. It's because it's not. I just can't imagine. There's your fake Snap-on in Milwaukee. I like bang for buck. Otherwise, I just don't understand it. But here's my thing that I don't understand is you work any job, right? In the dealership I just left, 47 and a half hours a week they want you there, and every other Saturday. That is 7.5 hours of overtime you would get at any other job. But as a mechanic, you're getting flat rate. There's great benefits to flat rate. If you know what you're doing, you stick to it. You're 5-10 years into a certain brand, you're going to do great. But it's those first couple of years, you're struggling. But here's the thing. You got 10 grand in tools just before you even make $1. Like, what the heck? This is why no one wants to get in this field. The barrier to entry is too high and the pay is too little.
People think mechanics are scammers. The job destroys your back, and it's 100 degrees in the shop. And it's no wonder nobody wants to do this anymore. Right now, the entire car industry is in a full-blown panic. Dealerships are so desperate, they're taking guys who just change oil and asking them to perform brain surgery on these super complex cars. Companies are running ads on Facebook, promise you can become a master mechanic in just about 30 days. And as if it's that simple. Some companies are starting programs to train a few hundred new people, but thousands are quitting every single month. It's like trying to fill a swimming pool with a teaspoon while the drain is wide open. The industry refuses to fix the real problem that have been around since the 1950s.
So there's a massive shortage of mechanics, and I seen the writing on the wall years ago, and nothing's been done about it. So, give you some perspective. When I went to trade school, there was 34 students, and out of that whole class, I'm one of 2 people that are still in the trade. And talking to the other professors, and when I was teaching too, a lot of my students, you can say I was a bad teacher or whatever you want. Out of like 100 students, again, there's only 2 that are still in the trade. And even then, that's iffy. And we got one of the highest attrition rates of any trades. And there's a lot of reasons why. Being a mechanic or making a mechanic is, it's a marathon. It isn't a sprint. And to be honest, a lot of people are used to instant gratification. And it takes years to become a good mechanic, and it takes years to build the set of hand skills and diagnostic tools that you need. And a lot of the employers aren't willing to wait for that. And a big part of that reflects in the wages. So let's say you want to become an apprentice electrician, which I think is the easiest job out there. If you're going to hate me in the comments, they'll pair him up with a guy in a truck. Whatever the company finances the truck, they'll pay that apprentice $24 an hour, and they can fit all their tools into a bag. And there's no cost. They park the truck outside, and that's it. It's very, very inexpensive to have an apprentice electrician. And if he sucks in the beginning, they're willing to spend the time and effort to make him a better technician.
This is going to absolutely destroy your bank account. Now, picture this. You wake up, your car is dead. You call a tow truck, but they literally laugh and say the earliest they can come is about a couple of hours, or maybe even the next day. The shop tells you they can't even look at your car for a next couple of days or a month or even weeks. So now you're spending on a fortune on Ubers and taxis, and when you finally get the bill, the labor cost has skyrocketed because good mechanics are impossible to find. That one tiny problem just snowballed into a $2,000 bill, and it's a financial avalanche just waiting to happen. If you've waited more than a week for a car repair, comment below what was wrong with your car and where you live. Let's see who has the craziest wait time in the country. While you're doing that, subscribe. You are going to need these survival tactics that I'm about to share. Now, survival tip number 1. You have to stop treating mechanics like a convenience store you only visit when you're desperate. You need to find a mechanic before your car even breaks down. It's like finding a doctor. Ask your friends, look on Facebook and find a good independent shop. Go there for a simple oil change and build a relationship with them. So when this crisis gets even worse and everyone else is waiting for months, guess whose car is going to get fixed first? Yours. You'll be their valued partner, not just another number. Survival tip number 2. Every problem you ignore today is a 2-month wait time in the future. Prevention is everything. You need to follow the car's service schedule. Check your oil and make sure your tires are inflated. And I want you to go to Amazon, Facebook Marketplace and buy a $10 Bluetooth scanner. It's like a thermometer for your car that tells you what's wrong the second a light comes on. You can literally Google the secret codes yourself. Half the time, it's a super simple fix you can catch early before it leaves you stranded on the highway. Survival tip number 3. You don't need to learn how to rebuild an engine. But I'm challenging everyone watching this to learn just 2 basic things. Learn how to change a dead battery and how to change a serpentine belt. These 2 things leave people more stranded than almost anything else. And you can learn how to do them from a 5-minute video. Keep a cheap toolkit in your trunk. And you basically have a get out of jail free card while everyone else is waiting for a tow truck that's almost days, hours, or weeks away.
Shortage of technicians, but talk about why. Shortage of techs, you're looking for that super tech, and guess what? He's probably either already established or you lost one already because you couldn't pay him correctly, or your establishment is trash, or maybe those false promises that you got him, those raises that you said you were going to give up, and then, oh my gosh, please don't leave. And guess what? Will's his toolbox all out of there. We know that this industry has changed over the years. We know that owners bought out certain businesses and stuff like that, and technicians are being treated like trash. A lot of them, the good ones, done out of the industry, and now you're trying to mold the new ones that are up and coming, which is fine. So you're trying to get that, make that super tech. I'm pretty sure a lot of dealerships out there had that great tech, and guess what? They got a better offer somewhere else, and you couldn't keep it. You got some techs that you're interviewing and they can't diagnose worth of crap. And oh my goodness, I can't find the right technician. You got to start taking care of the ones that you have. And I'm not talking about the ones that lie and then they have 10 comebacks and then they're wondering why they're not getting hours. No, not those. I'm talking about the ones that you know that need to be kept.
Survival tip number 4. This could literally save you from going broke. Repair costs went up 15% last year and they're about to do it again. A good extended warranty can be your shield against thousands of dollars in bills. But be very careful because some of them are complete scams. Now, here's a secret. Never ever buy a warranty that doesn't pay for a diagnostic time. That's like health insurance that pays for surgery but not the x-ray to find the problem. A good one gives you insane peace of mind in this crazy new reality. So, what's the final boss battle? How do we actually fix this forever? First, the way we pay mechanics has to die. We need to pay technicians for their expert knowledge, not just how fast they can do a job. Next, the giant car companies need to help pay to train the next generation of mechanics. And we have to bring auto shops back to high schools and show kids that fixing these incredible machines is an amazing career. We have to change the entire image of this profession, or this crisis will never end.
Look, man, if you guys are considering being a mechanic, don't. This is not a profession that you consider. You're either all in or all out. If you're a car guy, you love cars, you love wrenching on them, you think you want to be a mechanic, bad idea, brother. I'm telling you right now, it will suck that passion right out of you. You have to intently focus on that hobby, keep that passion alive, keep that drive alive if you're going to do this professionally as a career. This is one of the most intense and like demanding skilled trades you can get into. The amount of knowledge required, the amount of tools required, the amount of investment required, the amount of training required. It beats up on your body. You're 30 feeling like 70. Your hands are all beat up every day. The thankless job. You're underappreciated, severely underpaid. Just the knowledge and training that have to go through to get to any sort of proficient level. Cars are getting more and more complex by the day. They're no longer just, 4 wheels and an engine. It's 42 computers on board, and you're more of a software engineer than you are a mechanic. It's something you have to love. You got to live, eat, breathe, and sleep this stuff, because if you don't, it's going to eat you alive and spit you back out. So if you're a car guy, keep it that way. Don't start wrenching on it professionally unless you know yourself well enough that you can separate the two and still keep the drive alive. Because I'm telling you, it sucks it out of a lot of people. It sucked it out of me. And I had to really, really push myself to get back into the love of working on my own shit, because after working on everybody else's shit all week, the last thing I want to do is touch my own cars. But I had to kind of snap myself out of that mindset. You know, this is something I love. This is something I enjoy. But this job isn't as glorious as a lot of people make it out to be. It's very, very stressful. It requires a lot, not just from you physically, but mentally, emotionally, financially. It takes up a lot of time. There's going to be a lot of early mornings, late nights, working weekends. I mean, it never stops. People start calling you outside of work, wanting you to do other things. Just don't do it. Look, man, if you guys are...
And this is a mindset we're trying to change. But then again, he's telling the absolute truth because he's a living experience. Now, smash that like button if you've waited more than 10 days for a simple car repair, and share the longest you've ever had to wait in the comments. Let's expose how bad this has gotten. And hit subscribe because in an upcoming video, I want to reveal which brand new cars are the easiest to fix yourself when you can't find a good mechanic. This shortage is like a flood that's getting higher and higher, and most people are just waiting until the water is at their doors before they actually do anything. The only person who is guaranteed to win is you, because you're preparing right now. So find your mechanic, do your maintenance, and learn the simple fixes that will keep you on the road when everyone else is stuck.
So next time you see a mechanic, thank him. We're a dying breed, and the way things are going now, if you don't take care of us or kind of treat us better, you're not going to have many mechanics around, and then you're going to be paying $500 an hour for door rate. So make friends with mechanics.
Drive smart, maintain smarter, and I will see you in the next episode, and hopefully not waiting for a tow truck in the next couple of weeks. Until next time.